So your suprarenal glands are the
glands on top of your kidneys. So, location, just like your kidneys, they are retroperitoneally between or poles of your kidney and diaphragm opposite the vertebral side. So, end of your 11th intercostal space and your 12th rib. At birth, the size of your adrenals is 1/3 of your kidney at birth. And then, it eventually regresses, especially the cortical part, yung cortex liliit. And when the person reaches its adulthood, 1/3 na lang siya ng kidney. Very small na lang, no? How about the dimensions? Kanina 12:6'3", di ba? So this time, 5'3'1". So mas maliit, no? And it weighs only 5 grams. And be clear, while kanina diba 130 to 180 grams. And take note also, the left adrenal is larger and higher. Maybe the same thing, the same reason, because of the right lobe of your liver on the right side. So what are the causes? Ay, shucks! Pati coverings ng kidneys na wala. Sorry, hindi ko nakikita. Wala mo ba hindi nag-sync yung ano ko? So dalawa yung slide so far na hinahanap ko na hindi ko makita. Yung coverings kanina, we were talking about the coverings. So your kidneys are covered by, discuss ko na lang they're covered by 4 coverings. The first one, the one directly covering the kidneys, bilang naalala nakita ko to so by tayo lang sa kidney is your renal capsule or your fibrous capsule. So, open lang to sa may sinus area where where the ureters and the vessels come out, no? Then, after the fibrous capsule, you have your perinephric fat. So the perinephric fat is on the borders of your kidney and extends to the hilum of the renal sinus. Then you have your renal fascia. Then you have your renal fascia or your fascia of Gerota. That's a third covering. So it's a fibroalveolar sheath that surrounds the kidney and perirenal fat. So fibrous capsule, perirenal fat, then fascia of Gerota or your renal fascia. At ito yung may consists of 2 parts, the anterior part and your posterior part. So laterally, they become fused together and continuous with the fascia transversalis or your part of your which is continuous with your fascia transversalis. This is open and merges with the connective tissue surrounding the aorta, the vena cava. So your posterior layer is continuous with the psoas fascia. Yung muscle na, diba? Tapos may midline siya ng kidney. And then, at the medial end border of the kidney, they are connected to each other by a connective tissue septum. So yung sa medial layer, yung fascia Gerota or yung renal fascia. Then below, the 2 layers do not fuse, but they extend downward along the ureter. So hindi sila nag-fuse sa ureter. Anteriorly sa ureter, it merges with the extraperitoneal layer of your iliac fossa and the posterior with the fossa iliaca. Tapos yung last layer is your paranephric fat. Fibrous capsule, perirenal fat, perinephric fat pala, sorry, or perirenal fat. Then you have renal fascia or your fascia of Gerota, and the last one is your paranephric fat. So this is the layer that is present outside the renal fascia, and the fat is more abundant on the posterior side. So may thoracolumbar fascia and renal fascia. So yung lahat na po, yung perirenal, renal fascia, and paranephric fat, they hold the kidneys in position. So, to support it and to hold the kidneys in position. So, balik na tayo sa suprarenal gland. So, it has also two capsule and a false capsule, which is the continuation of your renal fascia. Pag-ilan nga yung renal fascia sa pangatlo. Diba? Fibrous capsule, perinephric, renal fascia. So, siya yung pangatlo. So, just like the kidneys, in-envelope din niya yung suprarenal. And there's just a symptoms dividing the two of them. No? So, it acts as a, there's also a suspensory ligament from the diaphragm. So, parang nakahang siya doon to keep the suprarenal gland in place. So, ito na naman yung relationships natin. So, the apex of the suprarenal gland is there and in contact with your liver, while the base is in contact with the right kidney. While the left, it is in contact with the spleen. And sa baba, presents a high lobe for the left vein to emerge. How about the inner surface? It is intimately connected with your inferior vena cava and the bare area of your liver. While the left side is in contact with your stomach, the tail of your pancreas, and your splenic artery. So posterior surface naman, it is bounded by your right close of your heavy diaphragm. The same thing with your left diaphragm. And again, syempre yung left kidney. Anterior border. So, both of them presents a hilum. Ay, wala pala yung left. Bakit? Hindi ko yun alam. The medial border, sa medial border niya, the lateral border niya, again, over your stomach. Hanapin ko yan sorry. Sa anterior border. Bakit wala yung left vein? Nandun sa taas. Kung nagkamali ako dito, sabihin lang I'll check it out. Balikan ko kayo agad. So, again, ang cross-section, ito yung transverse colon nyo. You have here your vena cava, superior mesenteric arteries and vein. Then your pancreas. So, sa left mo, diba, the left is in contact with your left suprarenal. Tapos, yung colon nyo is in contact with your right. So, this is the inferior vena cava, the aorta, para ma-orient ka kayo. Then you have the big lobe of the right liver, stomach sa left, tapos ito yung and spleen. So, na-imagine nyo so naka-cross section tayo. So let's go on to the structure of your adrenal gland. Just like your kidneys, it has a cortex and then it has a medulla. No? The cortex is further divided into your zonas. So you have your zona glomerulosa, the outermost. Then you have your zona fasciculata, the middle part, and the reticularis, the one in the innermost. And of course, you have your medulla inside. So isa-isahin natin. So, zona glomerulosa, sabi ko nga, it's closest to the capsule, the outermost. It secretes your ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, and your angiotensin II, which secretes the melanocorticoid hormone, aldosterone, and deoxycorticosterone for fluid and electrolyte balance. So, they affect the renal tubules. How about your zona fasciculata? Ito naman yung it's the middle layer. It secretes your glucocorticoids, which are your cortisol and your hydrocortisol to maintain the carbohydrate balance. So, reaction siya sa glycogen, reaction siya sa gluconeogenesis. Then you have your zona reticularis, the innermost layer. It secretes your gonadotropic hormones. So, estrogen and androgen. So these are supplemental and they are very important yung secretion ng zona reticularis, lalo na sa development ng sex organs
just before puberty. No? So, sila yung nagdedetermine yung pagiging male, muscular, pagiging female, nung ano. So, yung magde-differentiate into the body of the breast, for the women, yung menarche, and everything. No? So, it's to the action of the semana auricularis. Now, let's go to your medulla. Your medulla contains your chromatin cells, or sa ano nyo, cells, which are actually neuroendocrine cells. So by histology, embryology, the adrenal cortex is derived from your mesoderm, while the medulla is derived from your neural crest. That's why it contains your neuroendocrine cells, and they contain tiny granules that are chromium salts. So, sa mga nabasa ko, journal, it's both an oxygen sensing and a glucose sensing. Very ano sila, parang chemoreceptor, like your, ano yung CBC natin? Cardiac body. So, just like your cardiac, pero, yun na nga, because the chromatin cells are not just limited to your adrenal medulla. They could also occur in your aorta. So, it's also possible that the ones that the carotid body are also chromatin cells. No? Endocrine cells. So, they also are found in cell precursors. Anyway, nice program. Hindi ko tatanungin. So, oxygen and glucose sensing properties. Very sensitive sila doon. So, to stimulate your medulla to produce their hormones. When triggered by your nerves, they release their granules into the bloodstream, like your adrenaline and noradrenaline. And they also synthesize your dopamine and your encapsulates. So for the blood supply, hindi nawawala na naman akong next slides. Sorry talaga, hindi ko na-sync sila. So for the idea of blood supply, yung sabi natin, 5 grams lang siya. But look at that. It has 3 arterial supply. The superior suprarenal artery comes from your inferior cranial artery. The middle suprarenal artery is a direct branch of your abdominal aorta, and your inferior suprarenal artery is a branch of your renal artery.
That's yan, ha?
Yan, tatlo yung blood supply niya. Bakit? Kasi very important yung ginagawa niyang hormones. How about the venous drainage? The right suprarenal drains into your inferior vena cava. Tandaan na, right, direct to the inferior vena cava, while the left suprarenal veins drains into your left renal vein. May dadaanan mo na siya. Ha? So, hindi siya direct yung left. Si right, diretso sa inferior vena cava. So, most of the blood, the vascular system, both arteries and veins, nakaparallel lang sila, except this one. Okay? Clear tayo? Ha? Marami magtanong dyan. Just to make sure that pinakikinggan niyo ko. Ulitin lang natin. So, ulit. Tingnan yung kaliit na suprarenal na yan. O, ano yung vessels that supplies it? Your superior suprarenal, the middle suprarenal, and your inferior. Saan nga yung galing sa superior? Inferior cranial. How about the middle? Abdominal aorta. How about the inferior? Renal artery. How about the drainage? The right goes to the directly to the inferior vena cava, and the left goes to the renal vein. Very good. Ay, sana walang magkamali, ha? Hiyang-hiya naman ako dun sa long piece niya. May nagkakamali pa talaga sa SCM? Ha? May nagkakamali pa talaga sa SCM sa inyo? Mamaya, kukunin mo. Kalimutan ko na sa likod ng sasakyan. How about the lymphatic drainage? Lymphatics from the suprarenal glands drain into the lateral aortic flow. So, the left and right siya, left and right din yung suprarenal glands na. For the nerve supply, it has both preganglionic sympathetic fibers, and they are also derived from your splanchnic nerves. Yung nga, sabi ko kanina sa fight and flight. Very important yung catecholamines that are secreted by your medulla. May dagdag na naman ako nawawala yung mga hormones nila, and yan. Meron din slides yun, hindi ko talaga mahanap. Then, most of the nerves end in the medulla of the gland. Kasi nga, ano yung pinaproduce ni medulla? Your catecholamines, which are norepinephrine and norepinephrine, or other name is your adrenaline and noradrenaline. The same lang yan, ha? Mamaya pagdating nyo sa ER, pahinga mo na epinephrine, inabutan ka ng nurse ng adrenaline. Ayaw mong gamitin. They're the same. Okay? Okay, wala ng pangalan. So, application sa tayo. So, most disorders of your suprarenal gland affect the hormones they secrete. So, like your Cushing syndrome, your congenital adrenal hyperplasia, your Addison's disease. Sa medullary naman, you have your pheochromocytoma and your neuroblastoma. So, this is an example of a Cushing syndrome, which is due to the hypersecretion of your cortisol, which is from your layer, zona suna fasciculata. Okay, so yan yung characteristic na itsura ng Cushing syndrome. May buffalo, so parang hump, buffalo hump. And then, you have your stretch marks, hindi pa mananganganak, marami ng striations. Then, you have thin arms and legs. And, may parang laging nabubugbog, skin bruising, feeling of the hair, red cheeks, tapos parang may hirsutism siya, extra face and body hair, no? Tapos yung round, moon face appearance. Meron ba sa inyo yan? Kumalulusot lang talaga kayo. Sige. Next, ito pa yung another Cushing syndrome. So, sa females, there's an addition of amenorrhea, hindi na mens, no? Yan, hirsutism, hindi na yung hair. Sa males, may problems in the weak erectile dysfunction. Tapos, kaya very thin ng legs, nagkakaroon sila na muscle wasting. Uyan may nakakatawa. Tapos, yung cardiac hypertrophy is due to the overstimulation, di ba? Ano ba? Round face, sasabi niya. Tapos, CNS, irritable, and may emotional disturbances. Tandaan natin, the hormone secreted by your suprarenal has some actions on your effect on your mental. Ito yung sa nawawala ng slides. How about Addison's disease? Ano naman yung nito? Ano yung deficiency? Ano yung hindi sinisecrete?
Steroid.
Aldosterone. Okay. So, ano naman nangyayari? There's skin hyperpigmentation, low blood pressure, weakness and weight loss sa GI. Ito yung irritable yung tiyan. Then, discolored sa skin, may vitiligo. And a patient's sinus can go into a crisis, presenting with fevers, hypoglycemia, hyponatremia, lahat na severe vomiting and diarrhea. How about this one? This is pheochromocytoma. This is a very fatal tumor occurring on your adrenal cortex. So, adrenal medulla pala, sorry. So, therefore, usually yung triad niya, you have palpitations, tachycardia, hypertension, and excessive sweating. I don't know if nabalitaan niyo yung there's a top doctor in Santiago who died. Ito yung suspect. She underwent a minor surgery. Gusto niya matulog. Pinatulog siya. Kaya pinag-react siya. Yung pala, may undiagnosed siya. And this is very hard to diagnose. Unless you suspect it. No? So, yan. Palpitations, hypertension, excessive sweating. And
10% of them have familial tendencies. So, meron tayong tinatawag, ewan ko kung na-encounter na yun sa, wala pa kayo, endocrine, ano? Wala pa. So, may men type 1, type 2, no? So, usually this is part of your men, yung MEN na disorder. So, 10% of them are familial. So, may tendency siya that it might run into your family, no? So, yan yung mga, ng Fayette. So, let's go now to the posterior vessels. Patapos na tayo. So, part of the study of your retroperitoneal space, yung mas sinasabi ko sa inyo, nawawalang vessels sa gitna. So, these are your inferior vena cava and your aorta. So, aorta, from the abdominal aorta exits yung opening niya from the diaphragm. So it exits your from the diaphragm, it becomes your abdominal aorta and terminates again into 3. Ano na yung tatlong termination sa abdominal aorta? Iliac artery, diluwain mo yun. Sternal and internal. Iliac sacral artery. So yun yung so this is your abdominal aorta. So yung dalawang terminal branches niya are your internal iliac and your external iliac. Yeah, your median sacral artery. So, medyo on the left side siya, pero medial siya. On its right side, you can see the inferior vena cava. So, sabi ko nga, most of them have parallel veins. Alam ni artery siya vein, alam ni vein. Except? Mamaya. So, yan yung mga nakawala natin. Please check your books. May tabulation yan. Sorry. So, sa posterior abdominal or wall arteries, ito yung mga projections or ano. So, yung parang ma-estimate nyo kung nasaan yung ninyo, yung level nyo. So, salpicella joint corresponds to your start of your inferior vena cava. Then, at the level of L4, your abdominal aorta bifurcates into your common iliac vessels. And then, at the level of the I think this is the sacrococcygeal sacroiliac joint, it bifurcates into your internal iliac and your external iliac vessels. So, yun yung surface markings just to let you estimate yung possible area in your mesenteric artery, the level of your L3. So, yung common iliac vessels, sasabi ko na, di ba? Then, your L4 is your transpyloric plane. That's L1, may correspond to your level of your superior mesenteric artery and your T12 for your celiac artery. So, ito yung sasabi ko sa inyo, paki-check nyo na lang dyan sa books nyo. So, I'm sure you have discussed this with Dr. Malvar. So, the abdominal aorta has 4 main, so 3 have anterior visceral branches. Nakita niyo na ito, di ba? Celiac artery, superior mesenteric artery, and the inferior mesenteric. Tingnan mo, makikita naman yan. Tapos, it also has 3 lateral visceral, that's for your suprarenal gland, which is your suprarenal artery, your renal artery for your kidneys, and your testicular ovarian. So, 3 lateral visceral branches. Ito, anterior. And then you have your 5 lateral abdominal wall branches naman. So, you have your inferior artery and your 4 lumbar arteries. And then for the terminal branches, ito yung paulit-ulit ko na, ha? You have your common iliac, which
So further, yung dalawa niya is your internal iliac and your external iliac artery, and the last one is your medial mitral artery. For the veins, it follows lang din, no? So you still have your anterior visceral tributaries, which goes to your drains into your hepatic veins. The three lateral visceral tributaries. Left, right suprarrenal drains into your inferior vena cava. The left drains into your renal vein. Ulitin natin, ha? Then you have your renal veins and then your right testicular. So the same thing with the testicular and variant vein, we also drain directly into the left renal vein. Unlike the right, na diretso sa inferior vena cava. About the lateral abdominal branches, you have your inferior vein and your four lumbar veins. Tapos, sa baba, the same thing, di ba? So, parallel lang. Yun lang yung exception. Yung left testicular or variant and your left suprarenal, which drains into your left renal vein. So, the same thing with vessels, nasabi ko na tayo na lymph nodes. Merong para-aortic, merong pre-aortic. So, at saka yung iliac lymph nodes. So, they also surround the arteries that yung pangalan nila. So, the lymph nodes on the sides of your aorta, your para-aortic. Then you also have your pre-aortic, which comprises of your just like your viscerals, your mesentery, like that. So, kung ano yung branches na anterior in your pre-aortic, this one's your para-aortic and this one's your iliac lymph nodes. Okay?
Now let's move to your
Lateral circulation.
in the event that
So, this is your
abdominal.
in the event that nabarahan si abdominal aorta.
And usually this is due to the atherosclerosis or minsan nagkakaroon ng aneurysm. Buhay na ba kayo ng presidente si GMA?
News daw.
Anong grade kayo?
Elementary.
Last one na.
Person of the abdomen.
Buhay siya.
Nawala siya. So,
Usually,
pag nagkakaroon ng obstructions sa abdominal aorta, they happen below the renal artery. So, usually dito, no? With obstruction of the abdominal aorta, higher up, nagkakaroon nagde-develop ng collateral circulation.
so may collateral
Circulation. So, this one is your phrenic artery.
remember nyo?
It comes in contact with your internal thoracic artery, doon sa taas. Then the superior epigastric artery comes in contact with your inferior epigastric artery. So, nagkakaroon ng collateral kasi dugtong din naman sila. Pero lalo na i-enhance yan pag may obstruction to. No? So, okay lang, pero usually, it's not enough to sustain the activities, the organ perfusion nila. Hindi enough, so nagkakaroon ng dilatation dyan, no? Pero, may possible dyan. Just like sa face, maraming highly vascular din yung face. Pero din yan. Kaya, sometimes when we encounter yung mga angiofibroma sa likod ng ilong, which is a very vascular tumor, the moment na pina-embolize namin yan, pinaparahan namin yung supply na kaagad dapat yung OR. Kasi otherwise, mag-open up yung collateral circulation just like this. No? The same way with your drainage, venous drainage. No? So, when if your vena cava becomes obstructed below again, bakit ang galing ni Lord nyo? Below the renal vein, nagkakaroon ulit siya ng collateral circulation. And if it happens at the superior part, it's the sinus veins that will become dilated to carry over the drainage from the lower limb, no? Or from the lower part of the body. So dito, the same thing, ito na makikita niyo, lateral thoracic vein, which is a branch of your axillary artery, lateral axillary vein, comes in contact with your superficial epigastric vein. Tapos, itong inferior epigastric vein connects with your internal thoracic vein. So, nakukontinue pa rin nila yung drainage. Pero again, it's not enough. Sa artery, sabi ko, it's not enough ang collateral circulation to maintain. So, people would experience claudication or pain in the leg when they move.
So we have here your lumbar plexus here. So the lumbar plexus is comprised of your L1 to L4. So this moves 1, 2, 3, and then the moral usually they exit the lateral side of your psoas major. And the biggest effect is your femoral curve. Discuss natin ito when we were talking about the legs and the piece of that. So ito lang yung then when you go down, together with the they will form the neurocerebral tract. So pag i-review nyo yung table,
Where it's surprise yung distribution nila. Yan.
Yeah.
So, ulit yan.
Lumbar plexus. Shit.
so yung distribution niya.
Yan. Yan na yung distribution niya, no? Pero,
To top the board exam.
bakit nakakama na yan sa lower extremity. Sige. Nice to know.
Hey.
Pero, syempre, sana alam nyo rin, di ba?
Naka. Yan?
And then,
And, yan here your sympathetic plexuses. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, highly vascular, highly enervated din siya. So, you have your aortic plexus, your sympathetic plexus, and your sorry na. So, ito yung mga plexuses nila, no? So,
aortic plexus,
the renal plexus, so usually yung renal plexus and the suprarenal are just a small part. Yung pinakamalaki dyan yung celiac and your superior mesenteric. So makita niyo yung renal plexus kakapiramidik.
pero they're very important, no?
Influencing the vascular and overall function of your kidneys and suprarenal gland. Now let's go to your abdominal pain. So there are three kinds of abdominal pain. The one which is somatic, the visceral, and then your referred. Mamaya natin usapan. Yung somatic, usually yan is due to the irritation of your skin and fascia and muscles of the peritoneum, no? Parietal peritoneum. And they are usually severe at very precise yung location nila. No? So kung central, sacral nerve, usually it involves C3 to C5. Pag lateral, it involves T7, central, C3 to C5. Then you have your intercostal nerve for the peripheral part of your diaphragm, which involves T7 to T11. And then you also have your anterior abdominal wall. Pag sa anterior abdominal wall, yung nagsusupply dyan is from T7 to T12 and portion of L1. So, pelvic wall,
you have your obturator nerve, the sensory, no? So, in cases of inflammatory process, na-activate itong somatic pain na to. So, that's the time yung you discuss to when you go to surgery, but just to let you know, tinatawag na guarding. Sabi ng guarding, pag ginawa ka kung titigas yung tiyan, that's one way of ini-increase nila yung tone and rigidity ng abdominal muscles to contain na doon lang yung inflammation, no? So, that's para nature's way to protect, para contain yung inflammation. Then you also have your tinatawag na rebound tenderness. Sila na,
wala na appendicitis dito. Wala pa. Kamag-anak. Kapatid. Wala. Okay.
Anyway, sa P, very important ito. So, yung rebound tenderness na tinatawag. Hinawakan mo, di na masakit. Pagbitaw mo, yun yung rebound tenderness. Kasi, konting disturbance dun sa area, sa peritoneum, di ba? Para itagay, magpo siya ng, trigger siya ng pain. So that's rebound tenderness.
Then you also have your visceral abdominal pain. So just like the word viscera, it comes from the organ itself, no? So ano yung mga usual organs? Appendix, stomach, no? Intestines. So ito naman, or yung sa ureter, di ba, hollow din siya. So yung cause ng pain is the peristaltic, yung colic movement, yung colic pain, ang sakit-sakit na parang mapapaiyak ka, no? Parang, basta colic yung tawag nila, yung parang padukloy-dukloy, ano ba yun? Basta pasukong-sukong siya. Kasi peristalsis naman yan yung nagpo-cause ng pain, no? And usually, very painful ito. Pero very, the onset, mahirap siyang i-localize, and usually, ipo-point ng patient sa gitna lang until nag-progress in disease, saka mo lang ma-identify kung saan nagagaling yung pain. So, hindi masyado, unlike yung somatic pain, madali mong ma-localize. Itong visceral pain, una median na siya until mag-progress in disease to involve the actual organ involved, no? So, usually, na-encounter ko sa mga yung sa passing of stones sa ureter, so very painful yan. So, kadalasan may kasama yan na sympathetic ka na swelling, no? Nasusuka ka, lalaway ka, yung mga ganun. Tapos ang heart rate. So, usually, visceral pain is accompanied by this symptoms. And then, you have here your referred abdominal pain. So, bakit may tinatawag na referred abdominal pain? Usually, ito yung nararamdaman ng pain other than the site or the organ involved. So usually, appendix, di ba? Ina-attribute natin yung pain to the right lower quadrant. But, referred pain namin going to the umbilicus, sa paligid, kaya umbilical area. Until mag-progress siya at dyan na. And then eventually, kakalat na pag nag-rupture na siya, masakit na all over, no? Pero initially, hindi. Malapit na. Then, take note of this, so, ureter, di ba sabi ko, haba-haba niya. So, kung nasa taas, it can point to the flank pain or dito sa may gilid. Pero pag nasa lower part ng ureter, it could point to your genital area yung pain niya. No? Tapos, for the heart, it could radiate dito sa may area niya, hindi lang dyan. Tapos gallbladder and diaphragm, ito. Nasubukan ko na ito, sobrang sakit. Dr. Melbourne does the endoscopic lab. I had a laparoscopic surgery before. Ang tagal kong naka-recover, grabe ang sakit dito. Dito yung pain dahil sa irritation sa diaphragm ng carbon dioxide. Kasi, diba, i-inflate natin ang abdomen to increase the space. So, papasukan ng carbon dioxide, which is an absorbable gas. Ang sakit-sakit na irritation yun sa diaphragm. So, nararamdaman ko shoulder pain. Sobrang sakit nito. And also gallbladder. So sa heart can go to the shoulder. But may mga nababasa kayo na shoulder pain. Gallbladder can also occur dun sa dermatome na involved. So almost on the same area. So I guess it's all. That's all at any rate. Walang, sorry talaga, marami akong nawawalang slides. Pero meron pa sana. So yung mga sabi ko naman kanina when we were discussing about the aneurysms, diba? So, pinaka-common is the aneurysm. And usually, it's the tunica subabdominal aorta. It's usually the tunica media that is affected, followed by your intima, and later, pag hindi na makontinue sa blood pressure, saka sasabog with the rupture of your umbilical adhesion. No? Sa injuries to the inferior vena cava are quite lethal. Bakit? Nasa likod na likod siya. Nasa likod siya ng liver, nasa likod siya ng kidney. Bago pumapakpak yan, nagdugo na to death. Kasi although very low pressure ang vein flow, kahit low pressure siya, kung nandun yung injury, mga penetrating injuries sa are quite lethal kasi ang tagal mo siyang malulukid. Kung mahabol naman, marami ng blood flow. So far yan lang yung mga important na dapat yung tandaan.
Paulit-ulit naman tinanong. Gusto kong alam ninyo.
So let's